That is 25% of gamblers, in my opinion. Like what Rob said, like that's a good statistic. I would say at most it's 33% of gamblers. That's as high as I would go, and that would be like the best situation.
I just don't know what
But
irresponsible
like
means.
people that I'm saying like people that have money to cover their bets, it's not cutting their savings. So like they're not buying their kids presents or not. You know what I mean? Like stupid shit like that. Like most gamblers are gambling money that they should just be saving
or paying bills with.
or paying bills with. Like that's what I'm saying.
Like that dude should not have been making bets because he didn't have the money, and now his kids is gonna be eating ramen because he's not gonna have money.
Right. It was the same
Not
shit we were talking about
responsible.
last night with like the people at Brewster's that are going and drinking that shouldn't be drinking because they don't have a lot of money. Like they go and send their paychecks there. Like that same concept.
They get paid on the 15th and are broke on the 18th because the 15th was a Friday and they drink all weekend. Like that shit's wild to me. That is a wild concept to me.
That's a legitimately problem. That's a legitimate problem.
But gambling's just the same. It's the same thought process of addiction, in my opinion.
Fun fact: they say 90% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, no matter what their income is.
And that's understandable. But what I'm saying is, don't make it worse by having this stupid addiction.
I don't know. Or just have self-control at that point. But then again, who knows?
All right. Well, first of all, welcome back to the Purple Pill Podcast. I'm your host, Robert. I'm with my co-host, Darren in LA. And we have a special guest this week, Nate. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Thanks for having me again.
No problem. So this is episode 101 of the Purple Pill Podcast. If you just tuned in, we were talking about gambling addiction and how bad it is in America. So yeah, that was just our little conversation to open up the podcast.
Really...
You guys have anything else to say about that?
Don't gamble money you don't have.
Yeah. Okay, that's probably the best thing that could be said in that scenario.
But when I say money you don't have, I'll reiterate after there.
Are we really sure that America has a gambling problem? I guess that's why.
100%.
100%. The world has.
You saw that video we watched the other week.
But that was one guy making a bet on.
You know how many people like him exist?
It's like one of the biggest economies in America. The amount, I don't know what the actual figure is, but the amount that is just bet, and traded between people on sports gambling, it's in the high billions every year.
Then, Darren, if you take it international and put it on soccer,
don't even that trillions.
Yeah,
FIFAs don't play.
They said in the World Cup alone, over $1 trillion gets bet.
I believe it, and everybody's drunk.
I guess the part where I lose it is are people really betting money that they don't have?
A lot of people, yeah. It's not necessarily that they don't have. Like that's a smaller percentage of people. When I say that they don't have, that means that one thing we said that needs to be going towards bills, towards savings, towards something else. Like there's a deficiency in your life because you're betting that money.
That's money you don't have. Money that could be well spent and be productive. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand the temptation of, if I just hit it, because I've been there. If you do hit, it's a great feeling and you get it, but the chances aren't necessarily in your favor. So you should probably.
Yeah, I don't feel that same way. I'm not a gambler in any sense of the word. I hate it.
I love it. Like when we go to Vegas, I have a good time. I love it.
I don't enjoy it. I would rather take that $100 and spend it on anything else that I want that I know I get money's worth for than gamble it, lose 200. Literally, I could have just lit that bitch on fire.
You could have.
No. But what if you make
my brain works different.
But what if you make 3,000? What if you make 300,000?
I like guarantees. I like things I can control.
You have a guaranteed 40% chance of hitting.
There's nothing you can control in this world.
How I spend my money, that's something I can control.
Is it really? If you have to pay taxes, you have to pay taxes. If you have a car, you're going to have to pay for your car maintenance. These are things that
that's different from gambling.
These are things that
that's
you can say you have, but
you don't have taxes.
You don't have to what?
Donald Trump.
You don't
Donald
have to
Trump
pay
don't pay
taxes.
taxes.
You will go to jail.
Donald Trump
No.
didn't go to jail.
Look, y'all. Let's be very careful what we do with the audience. You telling the audience right now that they have a gambling problem and they don't have to pay taxes.
I'm telling the
MC
audience right now that gambling problems
sounds like-
exist
Like, do we need to look up MC
and that
Hammer
you
real
have
quick?
the choice of paying taxes. I'm not saying you
I
shouldn't.
feel like we got on a tangent.
Do we need to look up Blade real quick?
Hey, my man did it. He ain't pay taxes, and guess what happened to him?
He's
His
a
name is
vampire.
Wesley Snipes, not Blade, y'all.
He's a vampire.
I'm not paying taxes.
Certified.
Speaking of Blade, they're remaking Blade in the
I'm so
MCU
hyped, man.
universe.
I kind of really excited for that. I loved those movies when I was younger.
The original actors are against it. They say that Blade was already made, it was complete, it was great. Don't remake it. Think about that.
First
Nah,
of all,
so-
everything's getting remade. Nothing is safe from remakes at this point.
I
They
would
do-
I would agree with them if it wasn't like a comic book character. If it was just like a novel or a book that was just put out and then you made a movie and that's the only thing you have of it. But there's so many stories that you can tell about Blade. That's the only reason I would
Exactly.
disagree with them.
There's different iterations, different universes, because Darren loves multiverses.
I hate this shit. I am excited for the new Ant-Man movie, but I'm not
Which has what? What is in the new Ant-Man?
Kang.
Which has to do with what?
Him trying to get his family's time back. I think
Oh
Ant-Man
my
that's
god,
what he's trying to
man.
do.
You dealing with the multiverse. You love it. I don't want to hear it. You love it.
I feel like they're gonna do Kang wrong though. I'm kind of nervous about.
They can't. Because he's in Loki season 2 dropping as well. They need to start paying me for this shit, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Kang, like in certain iterations of it, like basically killed all the Avengers. Like he's a badass.
Yeah,
Don't tell
it's
Darren that.
It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem.
Darren refused to watch Loki because
I
it's
think
not
that-
interesting.
But I do think that there's gonna be a pop-up character in this Ant-Man movie. Somebody that helps him. All of a sudden, now we're gonna be like, damn, where the fuck was this nigga the whole time?
It's gonna be Bruce Banner.
Now, I mean somebody like we haven't been introduced to yet. You got that big old Marvel book, right?
I do. It hasn't been
Yeah.
dusted open in a while. We can
There's
look at
gonna
it
be
later.
somebody that we're not looking at in that thing.
Look at
That's
it.
gonna come out of nowhere. Speaking of,
Has everybody here see Wakanda Forever?
no.
I have not. No.
Okay.
Have you seen it, Rob?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
I saw it day one because we real fans.
Have you seen Avatar 2? See?
I have
Real
not
fan.
seen Avatar 2.
Real fan.
I wasn't a fan of Avatar that much. I watched it recently and I was like, this shit was crazy.
Hot
I fell
take.
asleep twice.
Hot take. The first Avatar movie is mad overrated.
I enjoyed it, but I did fall asleep a few times.
It's not overrated.
I would say it's overrated, but it's not. I'm like right between the two, I guess. It's not a good movie, but it's decent.
From a
Is it
story
better
and
than
plot
Lion King?
standpoint, that movie is mad
Is it better
basic.
than Lion King? That's an ignorant thing to say. Lion King is the best movie ever.
Wait,
Just
what?
wanted to make
You
sure.
compared it to The Lion King?
I just wanted to make sure.
No, he's just being a dick.
Hold on. Rob, what
LA.
did you just say?
LA, did you see Scar die? Scar might be the most gangster nigga in fiction ever.
No, look, man.
Lion King is my favorite movie, by the way.
Wasn't that shit like
Oh,
Hamlet?
wait,
Wasn't that shit
I
based
don't
off
know.
Hamlet?
I've never
How
seen
is
Hamlet.
Avatar overrated? I want to stay on this topic.
The story's basic as fuck. They
We're not
copied
even going
a
to get
bunch
to
of
our
stories
real
from the
topics for
past.
the day.
The plot's trash. The only
Damn,
thing good
trash?
about that movie is the visuals.
Okay, bet. Let's do this, Rob. Let's do this.
They had the
Let's
hero's
do- let's-
journey.
They
No, let's-
copied
let's
that
have some
story.
fun. Let's
They
have some fun.
copied that
Let-
story.
No,
I've
let's have
seen
some
that
fun.
story
Let's-
millions of times.
Word,
Yeah.
you saw it millions of times. Let me ask you this: if you just saw Lion King for the first time at 27 years old, 26 years old, can you not arguably say you've seen that story multiple times at this point?
At 27?
No,
Yeah.
I've never seen.
But I
that
didn't see
Lion
I
King
didn't
before.
I didn't see Avatar when I was 27 years old. I saw Avatar when I was in 8th grade.
They came out with 2000.
So I don't see what you're trying to say.
No,
And at the you telling me
2008,
at whatever age you were at eighth grade, you've seen that movie multiple times.
I never seen Hamlet.
I'm saying you've seen that movie multiple times. Avatar, you've seen it
It's
done
too
multiple
long.
times. The same story.
Oh yes, actually.
Name
I
three.
name
3 movies.
the biggest one is it's like an 80s Disney movie about like try to save the tree in the forest. I just don't know the name of it. We can try to look it
Don't
up.
know the name of it. We can't count it.
Well, no, because we've looked it up before on the podcast. I just don't remember the name of it. It's like Nate might have been on the podcast, honestly.
I would say it's like Planet of the Apes.
It's nothing like Planet of the Apes.
I don't know
It is.
where you got Planet.
Avatar is nothing like Planet of the Apes.
It is.
No.
It's
Absolutely.
where there's a conflict between two races. One wants something from the other. And then you have someone in between trying to communicate peace and shit falls apart. It's exactly like that. What do you
It's
mean?
not like Planet of the Apes.
I just told you it is.
I just told you that it's not.
I gave you reasons why it is. Give me reasons why it's not.
Because first
The
off,
storyline wise is what we're talking
Storyline.
about, right?
Yes.
storyline, a man infiltrates a group of people, essentially, for another group of people to come in and wage war on them.
That's Planet
That's
of the
what
Apes,
Avatar is, essentially.
Darren, that's Planet of the Apes. You just described Planet of the Apes.
That's what
That is not Planet of the Apes.
Darren, have you seen the new movies?
I have not seen Planet of the
Darren,
Apes.
that's literally the new movies. That's literally
I'm
the new
enjoying
movies.
this conversation so much, just sitting on the side.
Darren, you should go watch the new first Planet of the Apes movie because that's
You
literally.
I
should.
will
It's
never
really-
watch Planet of the Apes.
Darren, that's
They're
literally the
good.
movie.
Darren, I'm gonna hop on the train. 3 votes against 1. Planet of the Apes and Avatar, very, very similar.
Y'all,
Darren,
first off,
And
y'all-
that's
y'all
just
are
one
saying-
off the top of the head.
these are the new Planet of the Apes that you're saying this though, right?
From
Yeah.
2009 and 11. Come on. This is
All right,
new.
that's after Avatar though.
When Avatar come out?
2008.
Okay, well, Planet of the Apes, I haven't seen the first one. So
You can't
I don't
compare
know.
it. So I'll win.
I
That's
assume
an
it's the same
argument
fucking
one.
movie.
That's
It's
an
the same
argument
movie.
one.
It's a remake, right? These are the remakes, these Planet of the Apes that are coming out. So yeah, it's the
Technically,
same fucking
technically, you could argue the original Planet of the Apes because homie goes to like a whole different. He goes to literally a planet of apes and infiltrates them and wages war, etc.
I haven't seen it, so I can't say that.
Like
Terrible.
a really old racist one. This is the movie I'm
Really
talking
old
about. It's
racist
called
one.
Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest.
And what the fuck what tree are they protecting in the Planet of the What
No
dragon-
one says shit
what
about
dragon-
a tree.
what
No one
dragon
says
are they
shit
what
about a
dragon
tree.
are they flying on?
All right, after this conversation, I say we get to one of our topics.
We
We
can probably
got-
move on.
Yeah,
But-
we can
And
jump
we're gonna
It's
My
not-
point is proven. Avatar,
It is
the
not
first one's
proven.
overrated.
It is not proven. Avatar is a
You were outvoted.
phenomenal original movie about
It was
imperialism
very-
and love.
Okay.
Very appeasing to my eyes, and I
It just
enjoyed
looked
watching
really
it.
good. All right,
Rob is
so on to the ghetto section of the podcast. Let's just watch this video and see what happens. Just for some context for people listening, this teacher and a student are arguing in the middle of a classroom.
Kick to the phone.
Is this New York?
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right, so I would like to break down this footage frame by frame. So I would like to start with, first of all, homegirl don't know how to fight for to be talking all that shit. She started slapping the teacher. Like, look, watch this. She ain't doing nothing. The teacher hit her with a great Muay Thai sweep. She took her by the head and knocked her legs out. It was an amazing Muay Thai sweep. Watch this. It's flawless. She keeps leverage high. She got her hair. She got that weave. And just watch this turn. Flip. Little girl, stop playing with her. That's too big of a woman. That's too big of a woman.
That's a woman versus a girl. She should have knew she was outranked.
But I will say this. Apparently the teacher broke her leg during this fight. So prayers for her. Hopefully she has a long recovery.
Speedy recovery.
She broke her leg. Did she fall on? I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. Can you play it? I just want to see what happened. Yeah, she fell on it. When she fell, that's probably what did it. Damn.
I'm telling you, like I said earlier, this is why no one wants to be a teacher right now. The kids are fucking wild.
I couldn't do it.
Bro. Let's be honest. This shit's public school.
You knocked my phone out my
There's
hand.
a lot of public schools, man.
But not like public school. This is like Columbus City School.
Inner city public school.
Yeah.
I mean, still though, like there's got to be teachers for that. Who wants that job? When you get paid what, $45K?
Yeah, but don't they get paid like way even less than like a teacher at a public school in the suburbs?
Maybe.
So they're getting paid
Oh,
less.
there's huge like changes in pay there, but it's like the easier the job gets, the more you get paid.
And it's unfortunate. Like that poor woman was just there trying to do her job, but oh no.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that this kid is gonna have like a legitimate criminal record immediately.
Like, what is she even arguing about? She got 2 AirPods in. How is she even hearing her talk shit if she was talking shit?
Probably nothing, bro. She probably had a bad day at home or anything else and just fucking taking it out on people. Escalated it too much.
That's what I was
But
thinking. Like, what's
here's
going on
the
at home?
thing. Can we just get to if you go back 10 seconds real quick in this video. If you keep it muted. But let's go back a little bit more. Just a little bit more. There's a moment that she knows that she shouldn't have fucked with this teacher. And it's
Right there.
it's right about here. She
With one hand, she was like,
One arm, just like
like that. If anybody moves you like that, mind you, this is a taller girl, so maybe she is easier. Her center of balance ain't really what what the teachers is, but that's probably what you should know. Like she moved her with one hand. Leave her, you need to leave that grown woman alone at that moment.
Can we look at the comments? Do they show us what this was about? Of course not.
we don't know the full story.
I don't want to hear that. That sounds like a setup.
All right.
Teacher was disrespecting young ladies to cease mother. Go up a little bit. What I've heard is that the teacher was disrespecting the young ladies to cease mother, but this went out of hand. Oh. I wonder if that's true. Because if that's true, well, you got what you got, ma'am. You shouldn't have been talking shit about the girl's mom, but that's crazy. Fuck them kids.
Said teachers need to learn self-defense.
Bro, if I was a teacher, oh man, I'm hitting you with a book.
So here's
coming for you.
Here's an interesting situation. All right, I think we discussed this before, like on one of our earlier episodes of teachers being able to protect students with guns, essentially, right?
That's what I was going.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is a scenario where you don't want a gun in the classroom. Can we all agree with that?
100%. This
100%.
is exactly why we don't need guns in the classroom, because she would have got shot.
Thank you. Exactly.
She would have got subdued. Teacher would have just been like, get the fuck back. I'm not doing it. Call the cops right then and there, get her out of there.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with my family at dinner the other day as to why I couldn't be a teacher. Because I don't got time. Like, if you don't want to sit here and listen to what I'm saying, you can leave. Go to the principal's office. You don't want to go to the principal's office? I don't care. Go somewhere else. Leave my class.
I'm just
Like, I don't got time to argue.
That way. That's it.
So
And I don't got time. Like, if any one of these little children argue with me in front of my class, bro, leave. Get out of my class. You don't want to leave? You can't be here. That's fine.
So would you grab a kid and throw him out your classroom if you had
Hell
to?
yes. Hell yes. I'm glad because they're ruining the education for the other 30. We got shit to learn.
So here's
You got to get the fuck out.
here's my question for you.
I would like LA said, like Rob said, I would subdue the kid and be like, look, class, y'all just learned something else today. If somebody gets too close to you, yank them up like this and then throw them out the fucking class.
It's
Y'all learn
a
something else.
learning all around.
Regardless, y'all gonna get this education.
This just turned into PE class.
Right.
That's
Oh,
that's
man.
sad.
You're gonna get your white belt today.
That poor lady's probably gonna lose her accreditation and not be able to work where she's studied for so long to be a teacher when she just wanted to teach the kids in a perfect world.
I don't know. It might be the teacher. It might be the student that gets the charges, like I said. Right.
It's just so unfortunate. Like you go to school to learn and then it's just and people send their kids here every day in good faith that they're gonna be safe and learn something and they're in harm. Like public schools, that's crazy.
So should the teachers take self-defense classes? Should they go to like the local martial arts gym and just learn how to like judo throw somebody real quick?
I think at least just be able to separate people and subdue them. Like at
I
very
feel like in a
basics.
perfect world, no, but wouldn't hurt. Shouldn't have to. I mean, I never like just growing up, I never saw shit like this happen. And in schools I went to. I went to public school for 8 years.
Yeah, I never seen somebody fight a teacher. I've thought about fighting a teacher, but I've never like seen somebody actually fight a teacher.
I'm saying I feel like this stuff just doesn't happen most of the place, so like it's useless.
But
Yeah, I'm thinking
does
Very
if
loose
she was
rules.
talking about her deceased mother,
if that
That's
oh,
what you're
God,
gonna find out though.
we don't know.
Because I'll have to like touch on this next week or something.
like what if she said this is why you so bad because your mom's not here or something like that, something disrespectful like that?
Something.
I don't know.
Or maybe she didn't even say something disrespectful and she heard something disrespectful.
All right. Well, moving on from the ghetto news. We're going to
You're
talk
covering
about
some.
we're going to talk about so this guy named Tyree Nichols. He's from Memphis. Apparently he was beaten to death and by Memphis police. So we're going to check that video out.
Wait, we're gonna watch the video?
We're going to watch the news coverage of it. I think they show a little bit of the video on the news coverage. So
Okay.
we'll check that out because I wasn't able to find just the body cam footage.
I don't want to watch the video personally, but okay.
Oh, okay. Do we not want to watch this?
We can go watch it.
Play it. Play it.
Tyree Nichols' mother had a chance to watch this video of her 29-year-old son getting pulled over by Memphis police on January 7th. Rovon Wells says she simply couldn't bear to see the video, which the FBI director says is appalling, which the Memphis police chief calls a failing of basic humanity. Video she knows is horrific because 3 days after her son went to the hospital with injuries from the beating, Tyree Nichols died, and she found herself praying for the 5 former officers now charged with his murder.
At the end of the day, this shouldn't have happened.
Early on, police said Nichols was pulled over for alleged reckless driving. Now they say they see nothing to substantiate probable cause for the stop. Officials know this video will infuriate so many, yet Nichols' lawyers say the quick reaction, firing officers, filing charges, is the right response.
This is the blueprint going forward for any time, any officers, whether they be black or white.
Now, as the video is made public, Tyree Nichols' family knows people across the country will gather. They implore in peace.
We do not want any type of uproar. We do not want any type of disturbance. We want peaceful protests.
In Memphis, I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
Mm.
When did this happen?
January 7th, the video said the body cam.
I did not hear about this.
What are you guys' thoughts about that? What's your reactions to that?
I mean, that's just insane. Like, I don't even like. Was this like targeted? If there was no reason for them to pull him over or just like get aggressive, but like, I guess why? Like, that just seems like they have some motivation behind it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's like super aggressive.
I don't even understand. Like 5 cops, 1 dude, bro. Come on. Like
He wasn't even resisting nothing.
that's like I can't even fight 2 niggas. Like 5?
That's what I'm saying. Like it almost seems like so over the top like, that there had to be a reason.
You would think there had to be a reason.
But like, how do 5 cops just?
They say reckless driving, but they
But like once
claim
again, why would you decide to just beat a dude to death over? Like, I just don't understand. It's so mind blowing. Like
Um,
I'm speech.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit here. Um, do you think it's weird that they fired the cops so fast?
weird.
The reason I say weird, as I feel like when the white cops have situations like this where they killed somebody, they weren't getting fired as fast. They were basically fired immediately.
I feel like I mean, as long as the video is accurate, I feel like there's just no gray area here. You know what I mean? It's not like an awful but lawful situation. I've never heard that saying, but like, it just seems to be so black and white. So they were just like, yeah, you're done.
I don't know. To play devil advocate with Rob, I don't know. That's I guess it just depends in the city, maybe, because this was in Memphis. This is a predominantly black city, right?
All 5 were black cops.
So maybe the black people are like, yo, this shit's about to be crazy in our city. We need to cut this shit. Whereas in other cities, maybe they're not predominantly black and they want to, what is it, follow the rule of law or something like that and make sure everybody's clear and stuff like
And
that.
they're trying to make an example.
I don't even think that. I think like black folk, to make it just, very, very basic, black people don't got time. Like if I saw a video like this, you're fired. Like white people, to make it very basic in general, they want to make sure they have all the evidence. They want to make sure they know what's happening, the full story, and then a decision's made, So, like, if I saw this video, you're fired. If I saw any video of you doing anything like this as a cop, you're fired. I don't got time. You're fired. Go to the streets and let them take care of you. But some people are more meticulous and have respect for law, is what I would say to answer your question.
Darren, do you have an opinion on this?
It's just that. Just that. Not really too much to say. I'm just. Yeah.
He was young. He was our age.
Yeah.
That's correct. What time was this? 8 o'clock? 10 o'clock? 8 o'clock? 8:27.
8:30 basically.
8:30 at night, bro. You're just going home. Like, that's crazy. 8:30 at night. Oy.
Speaking of, your boy's a criminal too. I got pulled over by the police the other night for the first time. Did y'all freeze?
No, I'm waiting for how
I'm
you're a
just
criminal.
listening, yeah. I know I got
Because
pulled
I don't
over.
associate with criminals. I might leave.
Like,
Yeah.
could you get arrested?
No, I didn't get arrested.
Then you're not a criminal.
Well, I was close. As close as I'm ever going to get.
I've been cuffed like 4 times for random reasons, but I've never been arrested or anything. And I'm not a criminal.
No, well,
I
I,
was just
I, thought,
meeting
I, thought, I thought it was hard because the cops pulled me.
Yes.
I might leave the podcast there. I don't associate with hardened criminals like Rob.
I
I was
understand.
shaking and shit, but it was really cool. The guy was really nice to me. I was going like 83 and a 65.
Jesus.
So the cop pulled me over, but he was an African dude. He was really nice. He did at the very end when he was telling me I could leave. He said, "Slow down, slow down." I said, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir."
So you were Going what? 20 over?
Yeah, basically, damn near.
They would have
18.
searched my car. They would have brought the dogs. They would have gave me a ticket, gave me points. My insurance be $100 more.
Okay, my first ticket was that. It was almost 30 over.
Damn.
I was doing like 668 or no, like 70 and 35 or something like that.
Yeah. The only time I actually got a ticket, I was going like 90, 98, something like that.
Yeah, no, Rob, you're a hard criminal, man. We can't talk anymore.
My bad, yo. All right. On some more dark news, this is probably going to upset a lot of people. Just to give you a heads up. A family left their 9-year-old kid outside in a dog kennel for months.
Allegedly?
No. They did it.
Oh.
Like confirmed. Oh, this is gonna be.
This is going to make you angry. A family locked their 9-year-old kid outside in a dog kennel for months, even when it was freezing. With local deputies in North Carolina receiving an anonymous tip and finding the boy wearing a t-shirt and jeans with no shoes in 28-degree weather. And they found him at 7 o'clock in the morning after he had been locked in at 10:30 the night before. And the boy telling police he didn't have a room in the house and had been living outside since April. And so the family is now facing 19 different indictments, including felony child abuse. Good. Throw him in a dark hole. Oh.
Whoa.
Since April?
So we're going to play a little game here. Guess what drug it is.
Meth.
Heroin.
Karen?
That's
I think it's
Sam
meth
Meth.
too. I think it's meth too.
Go back in the video. Can you pause it when we see their faces? I want to see.
Oh, yeah, the lady at the bottom, her face screams meth.
Bro, God bless this kid, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm amazed he made it. Where is
Yeah,
this
bro.
at again?
It's not even just the cold, bro. Like,
Where was this at?
I don't know. I'll have to start the video over.
but think about this, bro. It wasn't just cold.
That lady at
was-
the bottom screams meth.
We recorded crazy levels of heat in the summer this summer. He said since April. Bro, that is vicious. It was
Huntington
cold.
Beach, California, Hollywood. Where? I don't know, man.
Well, they said it was like 28 degrees outside at one point, so like it has to be somewhere cold. It doesn't get that cold down south.
I was thinking West Virginia.
I'm
They all
saying
got
regardless.
Oh, this is going to make you angry.
I'm
A
saying
family locked their
regardless.
9-year-old.
But since April, bro, that means like all summer, all fall, and like starting into the winter.
That's what my
like,
point is. This
Hold
kid had to deal with the extreme heat and the extreme cold, bro.
That's
There's
just
like
I
there's
don't
both.
I don't have words for that. That hurts.
Yeah, hopefully they throw them under the jail.
I don't feel like there's a bad enough punishment for people to do that. Like I feel like those are the people like they go to jail for life or whatever. Like that's not enough to me.
Yeah,
North
they gotta
Carolina.
Carolina.
yeah, they're more so like when this it's more so the thing like when you get to jail, you hear people doing bad things to certain people if you did a certain type of crime.
Right. Like
This
yeah,
is one of
crimes
those like
against-
you want to make sure that they got the punishment that they deserve, not just being in jail, essentially.
Yeah, I know crimes against children, they don't get treated too well in
Yeah.
jail.
Especially like,
Right.
come on.
So that's I don't know. I got nothing else to say about that besides that's just
This nigga's
that's just
high.
trash.
He's high.
That's almost pure evil. Like drugs is not even enough of an excuse.
That man's high, y'all. In this picture,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
he's high.
Meth.
He got all his teeth. I don't know, man.
They can snort that shit.
That's crazy.
I could be wrong.
There's
That's like you have to be fundamentally evil though before drugs and all that to do something like that. Like that's not something that like I did meth and I did like no.
I don't know.
That's wild. All right, let's watch something funny.
Yeah, can we please get good topic?
I need a break. Like recharge my serotonin here.
So on a way lighter note, we're about to go watch Ernie from Sesame Street sell drugs.
Hey, bud. Hey, bud.
Hey, who?
You.
Hey, me?
Yeah. Come here.
What?
Come here.
What?
Nah. You look like an intelligent young man.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do, sure.
You look like someone who'd be interested in a bargain.
A bargain?
Yeah.
Why, sure, why not? Are you a salesman?
Right.
Oh. What do you sell?
Eights.
Eights, like the number 8. like the number 8.
Right.
Oh, that's kind of a weird thing to be selling.
Listen.
Yeah?
You take this 8 here, see? It's very useful.
Yeah?
You buy it.
Yeah?
You hang it on the wall.
On the wall. Why should I buy an 8 and hang it on the wall?
Next time you wonder how many legs an octopus has,
Yeah?
you look at the 8.
Octopus has 8 legs. The octopus has 8 legs.
Right, right. Oh, when you forget how many reindeer Santa Claus has,
Yeah?
dig the 8.
8 reindeer. 8 reindeer.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Or when you can't remember what time you eat breakfast in the morning.
Hmm?
You ready?
Yeah? Ah, I eat breakfast at 8. I eat breakfast at 8.
Right.
Mhm.
Now, you wanna buy a 8?
No, I can't. I don't have any money.
Oh,
See,
yeah?
just a couple of minutes ago, I met this guy selling 9s, you see, so I bought his whole selection. So I was wondering, could I interest you in buying a 9? Because you can put it on the wall, you see, and see how many players there are on a baseball team, you know? You can also find out what day of the month the 9th of August comes on. How about that?
Why me?
Hey, listen, how about I'll trade you all my 9s for your 8s. How about that, huh? I'll even throw in a 4 or 2, huh? I'll throw in a 2 and a 4. And 2 3s, huh?
I don't get what I watched, but that was
Is that
funny.
pure comedy or is it not?
I feel like that's one of many though. Like as a kid, that went right over everyone's heads.
No, definitely not. You won't know what a 9 is. You probably wouldn't know what an 8 is.
Right.
But hey, bro,
They know what they did.
you don't pull up on Ernie, bro. He got all the 9s.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think that they're like just bored and they're like, we'll write this one for the adults?
Yeah, definitely. Because that's solidly creative.
I didn't get it until y'all just broke it down. I guess.
Oh, word?
Wait. What was the 3s and the 4s?
No, that he was just throwing other numbers in there. He was just throwing.
Yeah, that was the 8 and the 9 was the.
I got a couple 2s, a couple 4s. I'll throw a couple 3s in there. I don't get it, but okay. I mean, I guess I get it. I guess.
I thought that shit was hilarious, and we needed to watch that. So
I
just to lighten up
smiled.
the
I
mood.
needed that.
All right, now back to more ghetto shit. We're heading to Oakland, California. Let's see what happens when these 5 guys enter the store.
You got this side? Huh? Yeah.
All right, there's 5 dudes in there. What are you doing if you're the store clerk right now?
Well, they asked for good times, so I guess he asked them for ID, which he should have done because they're in a liquor store. And then, let's see what happens. I'm gonna get them what they want. Here you go.
I mean, I agree with that.
Give me everything right here. Right here.
I thought this video was about that.
I feel like that dude handled that like a G. He just gave him all the money, let him run out, instantly pick up the phone. All right, let's call the cops, get this insurance.
Right? He makes more off of it. Fuck it.
Right? He wasn't even phased at all.
At least,
I feel like it's not his first time getting robbed.
shit, it's not his shit. He don't own this store.
My thing is, three of them got masks on. Two of them don't got masks. Did they not get the memo?
Yeah, I that was kind of confused about that too. Because they're on video, like the police are gonna find you.
Already gonna find you. Didn't have the gun loaded. Oh
Bro,
god.
that was the funniest part of the whole video. He was
Oh
pointing at him,
god.
and how the old boy had to take the gun from him to make sure.
Like, these dudes are idiots. Because even if like one of them doesn't have a mask, they're gonna find him. They're gonna make him roll on his friends. You're all fucked anyway. You probably stole that gun.
The dude in the back on the right though, he's just looking at the snacks. He was probably just high. He just came for the ride.
Right? And got dragged into it.
Keep playing, man. You're gonna see something totally different.
Let's see. He look over, he's like, oh, we robbing shit? He picked up the show though. He was smart.
That we actually need this.
Yeah, he was smart. He picked up a show. So run the shit. Let's go.
Like that dude over the counter. Like you might as well have just handed him your ID.
He just got all his prints everywhere. He's like, shit, he said we came from backwoods, bro. Let's go.
Out of here. I didn't even
Yo,
see that.
he grabbed the
whole
backwoods.
box.
He said, isn't this what we came for?
Oh my god. Like I said, that dude is way too calm for that to be the first time he's been robbed.
Or he's high.
I don't know if that would make that.
Jabronis. That's funny. He was certainly calling the police.
That's wild.
One of the comments said, you see how calm and collected he was? There's probably a kickback for him. Oh.
The Iron Sheik comment.
No, he put out his phone too quick.
Yeah, I don't feel like he was in on that. I feel like that's just more like I said, there's someone that's like knows he's getting the insurance money. Like I'm not gonna get shot for money that's not mine.
This is from Robbie Starbuck. You know how I go on and on about how gun violence is a cultural problem? This is a great example. The robbers are young boys in a country with a culture that puts God and family first. These boys would be at home with their parents instead of robbing shops, eventually killed. Is he a politician?
Who'd they kill?
A politician.
Don't care.
No, he's saying they're eventually going to kill people because they robbed this guy, and they don't put God and
Anything's
family.
possible. Okay.
Why? I always have a problem with when they bring God into it. Like, just why does that have to be part of it?
I think his point is if families were built around religion and then family first, then there will be less gun violence in America and less problems in America. I think that's I think it's a religious argument, made political. All right, so let's check out our next video. Oh, our next video is kind of an interesting topic. Darren, do you want to introduce it?
Earlier this week, somehow we just now realized, after it's been probably about 10 or more years, that the Earth's core started moving in the opposite direction, and I found that fascinating.
Let's just check it out.
What are the ramifications of it, though? Like, what does that do? Because, I mean,
I got a theory on it. Go ahead and play the video real quick, though.
Okay, go for it.
This is from USA Today.
Let's see what happened was.
Hey, thanks.
They
So
lying.
thing they
I think
like.
I think
Oh,
it
sorry.
I think it really happened in 2012. Y'all remember how the Mayans were supposed to predict the end of the
Oh,
world?
okay.
That's my first theory. I think in 2012, that's when it just decided to flip.
Aaron,
I'm
get off
being serious.
websites.
I'm being serious.
Based on what evidence?
I don't know. Just the Mayans, man. Just the Mayans. They predicted something right. You gotta give them that.
Well, that's some Marvel Universe shit. There ain't no way the fucking Mayans knew which way the core was rotating.
They didn't. They thought that the world was gonna end. But in reality, they meant to say, oh shit, the inside of the world is actually just not gonna keep going with us the same way. That's what they
Not
meant.
down this rabbit hole.
I'm just fucking with y'all. But
I was
anyway,
I'm not going down
what
this
is this nigga
rabbit hole.
talking about?
I'm fucking done with you.
well, I did find this interesting. What y'all think about it?
That is kind of a cool concept, though. I like they say it's not going to have a cataclysmic effect, but I would be curious what effect it does have because, like, I guess in theory, as long as it's spinning, it's like the inner core that doesn't affect like the actual spinning of the Earth necessarily or anything. So, I'm curious what effect it does have. I might look into it later.
That is something we should definitely follow up on.
As long as it keeps moving, I think we're in good position.
No, yeah, we're fine.
Everything in this universe is based on movement, and as long as shit's moving, we should be good. That's the way I look at the world.
Also, want to explain this to me because I knew nothing about this.
Okay. So this is so Adult Swim has ended its association with Justin Roiland. Rick and Morty will continue. The talented and dedicated crew are hard at work at season 7. Basically, from what I know, Justin Roiland has been accused of domestic violence and sexual assault, and that's why they're cutting ties with him and replacing him as a voice actor.
Rick will have a new voice.
Yeah.
So it's this, like, I'm assuming this is just beginning now. Like, there's no trial happened yet or anything, but so
as far as I know, this is the only thing I've heard that he's been released and that he's been accused of those things.
Wild.
Do you guys have any more information?
Is he married?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking. This was to a rant. Was this just to another woman or was this to his wife?
That's what I was getting at.
So
an unnamed woman.
An unnamed
So
woman.
it wasn't his wife.
The domestic violence or the sexual assault? Because I heard there's two.
That's what I'm saying. Are those separate? Like the sexual assault on a random, not a random, like a different woman, and the domestic violence, obviously with his wife, or was it like all the same?
Yeah,
that's my question. I'm just kind of curious. It doesn't really matter, but.
This article says an article in NBC News came out about Justin Roiland being investigated for felony domestic violence. Upon release, numerous women subsequently have come forward with stories about Justin dating back many years. He'd been grooming underage girls by text for at least the last 7 years. There's numerous women who've come forward with texts and date receipts from when they were underage, some as young as 15, and Justin Roiland messaged them implying he was sexually attracted to them. In a thread since deleted screenshots from one of the accusers, Roiland messaged a 16-year-old fan, nicknamed her Jailbait in his contacts, and proceeded to message her when he was drunk. Another has posted and since deleted messages from Roiland, again calling a 16-year-old hot, and not stopping once she tells him she's underage, and making comments like, "You better not post this conversation, you little bitch, LOL." After making repeated comments on her appearance, one adult woman has openly accused him of sexual assault. All this coincides with numerous reports saying that Roland's creepiness has been an open secret for a while in the industry.
Wow.
He does give
He
off
the voice
creepy
of Rick.
vibes. Yes.
Wow.
The only reason I know what he
That's
looks.
all. What's that?
No, I was just saying. The only reason I know what he looks like is because they had an episode where Rick was drunk the whole time. Yeah, so they had him record drunk.
Yeah.
Then they weren't able to record anything because he was too fucking drunk.
No.
But bro,
Yeah,
rumors are like this are really disgusting to me. Like that's
It's-
like really weird.
I mean, there's just no word for than disgusting. That's just nuts to me. It's due process, but this seems just pretty. unbelievable.
Yeah, even as
I mean, there's screenshots of stuff. It's not just somebody saying it.
Yeah, as fans of Rick and Morty, I think we can all say that this is just fucking creepy.
That's super fucking creepy.
I didn't know. I don't know him as a person, but when I saw it, I know we talk about Rick and Morty a lot, so I was like, let's see.
Well, it's interesting to see how the show changes then with the new season.
I'm never gonna get my canonical series in my Darren. They're just gonna end it.
Oh no, it's gonna get all fucked up. I have a feeling, but you never know.
You'll have evil Rick play.
It'll be evil Rick.
Evil Rick's voice. Whoever voices him.
What
Yeah,
makes
bro, that's
grooming really
sick shit, bro.
disgusting
That's
to
just some
me
sick shit.
is I feel like you're literally just brainwashing kids. They try to fuck you.
100%. I mean, it's like the definition of a predator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just I feel like taking it to a whole different level.
Facts.
That's unfortunate. But like, who would be potential replacements?
That was weird though. I'm sorry. You can go ahead.
I know Rick and Morty fans have. I was just looking at it a second ago that they've offered up like options, but I think they'll just delay the season for a while while they figure it out.
Are they just gonna have to delete the already recorded stuff? Because I'm sure they already have the next season already made.
I would assume so. They'll probably have to redo it all.
He's under contractual agreements, right? Like I'm sure somewhere he's getting paid out for this. That's crazy.
This would probably break their contractual agreement.
Yeah,
somewhere.
that has to break whatever contract.
You think so?
Yeah, that has
Oh,
to
it
be.
has.
Because he's not proven guilty for anything. Like he's not going to trial.
He will be eventually. No, there's gonna have to be something that comes.
Like, how are they going to break his contract if he hasn't been proven guilty of anything? This is all hearsay. There's been pre-trials.
They could have something in the contract that says if you're alleged of something,
That's
something like
also
this,
considered
domestic violence, they can end
defamation
the
until
contract.
proven.
Yeah, you can't.
That's like the whole Johnny Depp thing.
You know, you said it was an open secret, right? Is that what you said?
That's
He's
what
basically
this
saying
said.
everybody knew he was a creep, but no one
Yeah.
did anything about it.
Yeah,
That's not what I said. That's what I
I know,
read.
I know, but that's how that's how I interpret it, right? That's exactly how Nate just said it. Like that's how I interpret that.
Everybody knew he was a creep, but no one did anything about it. Or like,
Yeah, and that's just
checked into it.
that's
Yeah.
just as disturbing if you ask me. Somebody would have had to be
That's
like,
willful
yo,
ignorance. That's like, you know, he's probably trying to, like, you don't want to search his messages or his stuff because then you have to, like, deal with it.
Apparently, he's gone on a rant lately about how it doesn't make you a pedophile to be attracted to 14-year-old girls with big titties from a podcast found in 2011.
Send
Oh
that
my
shit to me
God.
right now. We're playing that shit.
Oh
Send that
my
shit to me right
God.
now.
I don't think this is appropriate, Rob. We can't watch this.
No, I don't even know if I want to watch this.
Be careful. I didn't click the video, so I don't know what comes from it.
people are just like, bro, why are you trying to don't try to justify it.
These topics this week are taking it out of me. This is a lot.
Yeah, these
These are some hitters, bro.
So you scroll down a little bit. Scroll down a little bit, Rob. In the comment, you see that comment there? That's where the details I was reading came from.
Okay.
The first comment with the link, yeah.
But this is the video.
Reddit has some like real detectives.
Oh, I swear to God, the internet police are on here.
They can find anything. It's insane.
Yo,
Let's
hold
listen.
on, hold on. Darren, do they have a better podcast name than us?
Trash.
I just got to throw that out there. Do they have a better podcast name than us? All right. Let's check this out.
Back and be a 4th grade kid right now with what I know, oh my god, I'd be like walking around, I'd be getting laid every fucking day.
Gross.
And
in
it would be
4th grade.
and it would be legal too because I would be a little kid.
And he's been practicing on a 4th grader now, so he knows how to do it. Uh-huh.
No, she's 22.
She does have braces though.
I love it. I love the braces. It's hot.
Okay. It says anyways, she said had a nice ass.
I'm
didn't
not a
really-
pedophile though, all right? Jesus Christ.
Didn't really want
I'm not attracted to fucking little kid bodies. I like fucking women body. Look, I'll say, look, a fucking 14-year-old that looks like she's 18 and like big titties and a nice,
yeah.
like, of course I'm
yeah.
attracted to that.
Ooh, yeah.
That's why this whole Chris Hansen thing, I'm like, fuck you, man. These girls are like, they're fully developed and they're like, they talking online. I want you to fuck
You
me
mean
and shit.
the girls that old men or women pretend to be to lure the pedophiles into the house?
Yeah, but they would email photos
Uh-huh.
of what they look like,
Uh-huh.
and the ones I saw were like, that girl's fully fucking developed woman. Yeah, like, come on, back in like, how are we that like as a race? Are we that crazy? Like when we were fucking 100 years ago, it was little 13-year-old girls. If they were built like a woman, they were getting married and having kids. And now we're gonna be all precious about it. I keep using the word precious today. That's the word of the week.
Which is a movie about a child molester.
Precious.
Right? Down syndrome baby.
Exactly.
So, anyways, I'm not a pedophile though. I do
I'm a
follow the law.
pedophile.
I wait till they're 18 if I'm ever so lucky as to have the opportunity.
For an 18-year-old.
Yeah, of course.
A new change for me
But
for
girls don't like me.
2012.
Mm.
I'm gonna get this really cool car,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna start hanging out at the high schools. I'm
Nice.
not joking you.
High five.
Oh,
Bye.
Jackie, that reminds me. You still smoking?
No,
Whoa.
just like
Who is
here
she?
and there,
Oh,
like,
here-
but
you're
not
dabbling?
not
Hey,
chain
good
smoking.
work, Jackie.
Wow. I'm so proud of you, Jackie.
Yeah.
I'm really so happy.
She has come
Does
very
it sound
far.
glib?
And they let him on adult.
I don't
Well,
know.
that little
We'll
face
see.
you're making.
I know.
and
I
Well,
really-
look,
asking-
I just said I was a pedophile and nobody minded.
Well, it's because it's not as gross. You're a woman.
because you're a woman.
Yeah.
It's cool, huh?
Mhm,
You know,
yeah.
everyone's like, oh, young girls are so delicate, and you're gonna.
17,
Mhm.
sexy and
All right,
17.
I've heard enough
dude,
of this.
some
Yeah,
girls
I was
are-
about to say, we done.
Can
We're
we
done.
cut this? I've heard enough of this.
We don't gotta
That
do
is-
another minute of this, y'all. I'm good.
Jesus
I'm
Christ, dude. That is. I'm just gonna say that is fucked.
So, Darren, when you were saying that it was a known thing that he was creepy and everyone ignored it, this is what they meant.
This is
Oh
clearly.
my
what they mean.
god.
So yo, hold on. Don't ever tell me. I'm talking to both y'all. Don't ever tell me I say wild shit on this podcast ever again.
You got it, Rob. You'll never be at Justin Roiland's level.
That's
I don't know.
wild.
I don't know. Rob be saying some wild shit, but it's not creepy wild shit.
That might be some of the most fucked up, ridiculous audio I've ever listened to in my whole life.
But if you were to play devil's advocate, do you understand what he was trying to say?
Not really, no. I mean, in a conceptual theory, in a way, yes, but no.
So yes, here's
Just
the thing.
justifying his behavior. He's justifying the way he thinks so that he doesn't have to see himself for what he is. A sick
Well-
little shit.
Well, I agree. I don't obviously I don't agree with him, but to answer LA's point, to play devil's advocate, I understand the argument. I think it's a fucking weird argument because I came up with that same conclusion back in like it would have been like 7th, 8th grade. We were talking about Pocahontas and the depiction of Pocahontas in the Disney movie versus real life. In the
Yeah.
picture of the Disney movie, they were about the same age. In real life,
Right, she was
it
a full-grown woman.
Yeah. So in real life, she was like 14. He was like 50.
Right.
Back in the day, as soon as you be what was it? You have your period. You go through what the fuck
Yeah, I understand. Like when you look at all these shows, you go over, like, yes, was that normal? That's fine. But that doesn't mean it was right. And
Back then, you needed someone who could take care of you, who was stable, who had money. So, like, things were
right,
different.
and like procreation and lineage was a totally different thing. But like, you can't justify, those relations. Like, there's a reason from a maturity standpoint that these statues exist. And that's the reason when he's grooming kids, when they talked about that, like, he can do that because it's a maturity thing. It's just manipulation.
Well, yeah. Like I said, like you can do the devil's argument thing. I've heard that argument a bunch of times back in the day, 200 years ago, they used to have sex with 14 women as soon as they were able to become pregnant. I think that's a really weird argument to have in 2020.
The reason, let's be real about this. The reason why that's a weird ass argument to take is because we know nobody is mature till 18. Times are different from then to now. To have a young person, for an older person to have a young woman in those times, it was more about he doesn't know if he's going to survive. He needs somebody who's going to be able to raise his kids in general. So for them to get to real age, not only that, like.
But most of those girls, let's just take like a Game of Thrones style show or whatever, where they do that. So like most of those girls, not women, didn't want to be married. Like they just don't have a choice. It was forced.
Facts. It's not. Yeah, bro. It's just not.
It's an even worse justification. So you think back in we should be able to force 14-year-olds again? Like no.
Well, I have a question about that. If we're talking about Game of Thrones. Is it different if you're sending your daughter off to get married when she's 16 versus them choosing to get married at 16? You know what I'm saying? Because those were castles, those were kingdoms. They wanted to form bonds. That was like politics. We send your daughter off, that was like a political move.
But my fault. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I was just gonna say that's the difference.
I'm
essentially.
What'd you say, Darren?
That's the difference of today and back then. To me, is exactly that.
No matter how you slice through it, dice, it's creepy. That dude needs to get help.
Well, another thing I wanted to talk about. This is obviously definitely an edgy podcast by the title, and about what they're talking about. So do you think this holds credence to this case now, or what? What does this mean? Because it's definitely an edgy podcast.
Well, you said this was like 12 years ago.
2011, yeah.
Yeah, so this was a long time ago. I wonder if that podcast is still going.
Wait, Rob, what is your question again? I'm sorry.
So I said this is a very edgy podcast, and they obviously talk about very edgy subjects and make very edgy jokes. Can we hold him accountable for this conversation now? Because he's been convicted of because he's been alleged of grooming kids, or is it only a problem because he was alleged grooming kids? Like if he wasn't alleged of grooming kids, would this podcast, would this topic, would these jokes be a problem? That's my question.
I think I mean, if they can use rap lyrics against you, they can use podcasts against you, bro.
I agree with that.
And also to answer your question another way, like I think it should have been a problem. It clearly wasn't because it just got buried and then pulled up later. But like, this should have been a huge freaking red flag.
I mean, red flags and allegations are, two different things.
I mean, I get it, but yeah, no, this would be case evidence if again he goes to trial, or it could be.
Yeah, 100%. This should be played in the trial if he goes to court for this.
Good luck. Hopefully your wife stays with you.
Hopefully she doesn't.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
Speaking of creep stuff, Jesus Christ. These topics.
These
I'm
topics
gonna need to take another fucking shower after this.
All right.
Go gross.
So staying on the creepy vibes, I'm gonna show you guys this picture of this girl.
Woman.
This woman, I should say. So this is a 23-year-old woman, but she looks like an 8-year-old girl. She has some type of disability that keeps her, that she's looked like an 8-year-old girl her whole life, even though she's 23 years old and can drink and whatnot. They made a whole show about her on one of those channels, like TLC or something like that. She had her own show. This guy is a famous influencer or something on the internet, and apparently they're dating now. And the internet has been saying that's weird that he's dating her, because if you find her attractive in any way, you're a pedophile, you're a creep, because she looks like an 8-year-old girl. So I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this situation.
Well, her name is Shauna Ray. and she's little like this because she had brain cancer as a child, and like some surgery happened or something. And I saw a little bit of it with Brittany. I don't remember the full details, but I mean, everybody deserves love, man.
So that's where I have to, because you asked before the podcast, not to like, we didn't talk about that much, but like you said, so whether it's weird or not, like, so what, because she looks young, does she never deserve to have love? And like, I think that's a fair thing to say, because she does deserve it, but she does look like she's 8, so it does make it a very weird dichotomy. Like, I know people say you marry like a person for their soul, not for how they look necessarily, yada yada. It's still a little creepy, which is weird.
We're only calling it creepy because it's actual the physical attraction would be weird, essentially.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
But that's not why you get in relationships all the time, essentially, right?
And exactly. But
So
the fact that it is an attraction thing, though, is I would like. How did they? Well, she's kind of famous, I guess, so they probably knew of each other. I don't know if I have a hard line on this one.
I mean, for all we know, she talks. For all we know, she's an adult. You know what I mean? She talks like an adult. If she talks like an adult and she's an adult, I can't knock it. At some point, she's an adult.
So Darren,
But
she
it's
also
also
sounds
just
like
like-
an 8-year-old girl too.
They're
What'd you say?
also not fucking, by the way, just so we put that clear. They're not
cool
fucking.
with
They're
that.
just friends.
I'm cool with that. What'd you
They
say, Rob?
flirt, but they're just friends.
She sounds like an 8-year-old girl.
So then, what's the point of this conversation? I thought you said they were dating and like a relationship.
I heard they were dating.
They are in a relationship, but like they call it a flirtationship. I don't know.
So they're not.
From what I saw one episode. I don't know the whole story.
I was gonna say, if they're not gonna get together and they're not gonna like sleep together or anything, then the whole conversation's kind of mute.
I thought they were getting married.
They might. Like I said, I've only seen one episode, so I don't know the whole story. But there you go. It's right there.
He weighs 50 pounds. Dude.
If you look at me, you see an 8-year-old, she stated. But I think if you take the time to look at the details of my face and my hands and the maturity in my body, and I think if you take the time to actually talk to me, you really understand that I'm 23 years old.
Exactly. Like, she's a person, bro. You know, she can do whatever she wants.
I feel bad for her, honestly, because that just has to be a pain in the ass to deal with.
Like, is she supposed to date only people who have the same condition as her? Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, she can't date people that, like it. I don't know. That's super unfair to her, and it sucks for anybody like him that kind of has to get thrust into that. But then again, like whether I met her or not, I would not be attracted to her.
question. Let's say I watch a lot of reality shows with Brit. So let's say you were online and you were on a dating website and you messaged this person. You guys like kicked it off. You had a great bond, and then you meet in person, and this is who you meet.
I mean, I will also say though, after reading that, I kind of do see it in her face. Like, her face is definitely like a little different than what a normal 8-year-old would be. Like, there's definitely some more.
Yeah.
Like, it does look a little older. It's just the body doesn't match. I don't know.
But would you think like, oh, I want to still give it a chance after you built a relationship and you just met her?
I don't think that's a question I can answer. That would have to just happen, and then
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I could.
Like, you look like a child. I have children older than you. I couldn't do
Can't
it.
do it because ultimately, it's like you gotta be full transparent about this type of shit.
Right.
Like
Like,
being on the computer is not like being full transparent. You gotta be
Maybe they didn't want to be defined by it. Like, this is their
Yeah.
superpower. You know?
This is such a gray area if there ever was one. Like, there's no right or wrong answer here. There isn't. It's just pure opinion and speculation.
I'd kick it with her. Like, if she was in my school or something and we grew up together, like, I'd be cool with you. I wouldn't date you because I feel weird about it. But
That's a different story. Like, wait, she's a 23-year-old. Like, if I'm a friend, this is a totally irrelevant conversation. We're only talking about this and it being weird for thinking about
Let's go
this.
to the next topic. Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
go to the next topic. Yo. Please make this a good one. Please make this a more.
I'm fucking over this weird shit.
So this one, so if you guys don't know, there's been a big, I don't want to call it a scandal, but there's been a lot of news about Ticketmaster, and people have been upset at Ticketmaster because of the Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's about to go on tour, and Ticketmaster has been holding a bunch of tickets and selling them at 3 times the price. Also, resellers are beginning hold of the tickets and charging crazy amount of prices for the Taylor Swift concert. So Ticketmaster basically had to shut down their site, and now the U.S. Senate is talking about it, and I think it's pretty funny. They all came with like a bunch of Taylor Swift quotes from her songs, and I think it's pretty funny.
Ticketmaster ought to look in the mirror and say, I'm the problem. It's me.
A purchaser of a ticket being able to sell it to someone else. I think it's a nightmare dressed like a daydream with Senator Klobuchar as chair. To be honest, I had hoped as of a few months ago to get the gavel back, but once again, she's chair captain and I'm on the bleachers. So I have to throw out, in deference to my daughter Eliza, one more Taylor Swift quote. Karma's a relaxing thought. Aren't you envious that for you it's not? That's all I've got to say. Thank you.
Those representing the dominant player in the market would contend that their growth has allowed them to innovate and make advances that greatly benefit consumers. A few million Taylor Swift fans would respond, this is why we can't have nice things.
I believe in capitalism, and to have a strong capitalist system, you have to have competition. You can't have too much consolidation, something that unfortunately for this country, as a ode to Taylor Swift, I will say, we know all too well.
On-sale experience with Taylor Swift, one of the world's most popular artists, has highlighted the need to address these issues urgently. We knew bots would attack that on-sale and planned accordingly. We were then hit with 3 times the amount of bot traffic that we'd ever experienced. And for the first time in 400 verified fan on-sales, they came after our verified fan password servers as well. While the bots failed to penetrate our systems or acquire any tickets, the attack requires to slow down and even pause our sales. This is what led to a terrible consumer experience, which we deeply regret. We apologize to the fans. We apologize to Ms. Swift. We need to do better, and we will do better.
Mr. Berchtold, I want to congratulate and thank you for an absolutely stunning achievement. You have brought together Republicans and Democrats in an absolutely unified cause. And may I suggest respectfully that unfortunately your approach today in this hearing is going to solidify that cooperation, because as I hear and read what you have to say, it's basically, it's not us. It's everyone but us. And the fact of the matter is that Live Nation, Ticketmaster, is the 800-pound gorilla here. You have clear dominance, monopolistic control. And may I suggest respectfully that Ticketmaster ought to look in the mirror and say, I'm the problem. It's me.
Due to Live, I don't know if you have to watch any more of that, but
that dude, when he said it's a nightmare dressed like a daydream.
I thought that shit was hilarious.
It is. But it does, in my opinion, raise a valid point, because I've actually been saying that for years, that all of the resale shit is trash, because bots are the new thing, whether it's the new video game drops to tickets like that. I heard some of those tickets for that tour with the resales were like 10 grand.
Yep.
That's what happens with shoes too. That's how you get shoe prices skyrocketed.
It's just stupid, and in a way.
But it makes sense, Nate. It makes sense. No,
it's unnecessary.
It does. It makes sense.
Waste. It's
if
a
I
waste.
can spend $150 on a pair of shoes and make $600 on it in a month, I'm gonna do it.
I'm just saying, I think it screws the whole system, and especially for a concert, like that's just not what it's supposed to be. But I'm living in a perfect world.
Did you see what happened to the Bad Bunny concert?
No.
Same thing with ticket. Almost the same thing. So there was hundreds of people who were waiting in line for hours to get there. When the Bad Bunny concert goes through, they get their ticket scanned and it says that their tickets don't work. Ticketmaster somehow didn't certify hundreds of tickets. And like one of the security guards on Reddit was like, bro, like if they come through here, I'm one of them. Like I'm not stopping shit.
And
He's like, hey.
no, I think that whole resale culture, and especially with tickets like that, there should be one verified sale, you buy it, and that's it. Like, there's just no reason for this.
But you know, you don't have to buy the ticket.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna buy the ticket. I wouldn't bend to that, but
Exactly. But like once people realize like this shit isn't that deep, like going to the next Taylor Swift or the next Lil Wayne concert's not that deep. Like this shit will even out.
But LA, they're only gonna come through my city once in a blue moon, and I'm never gonna get to see them if I don't get to see them at this moment.
This is why I still think what's his name? Is lit. Who's that? That's his call sign. Travis
lit.
Scott. Travis Scott for having that concert online, like the most genius thing ever.
Oh, you're talking
Like,
about the Fortnite concert.
do online concerts, bro. Everybody can come. Take out the
That
middleman,
Fortnite was
bro.
different though. That was different.
Here's the thing, LA. Everybody wasn't able to go to that. They had problems with that because there were too many people trying to be in there.
But that's what I'm saying though. Build that system, build that infrastructure, and then fucking have online concerts. You pay like pay-per-view concerts. That should be lit.
But here's the thing about that. I don't think people paid for that. I think that shit was completely free, and maybe
Yes.
Fortnite paid them.
Yes, but what I'm saying now, take the idea, build the platform. We can have IBA concerts, and they can have fucking streaming concerts that you can rewatch anytime you want.
see, I'm not down for that though, because my thing I loved about concerts was going to the concert, being at that venue, being around other people, like that.
Other people that love the music.
Right, that stage presence, like everything.
But when
else.
you go to a Kanye show, you're getting lights, you're getting dancers. Like you can still experience that. You could go to a Chris Brown concert, like that shit's lit. An
I
Usher
guess just
concert.
for me, it's not the same.
Things are moving. Those are spectacles to watch.
Well, here's the thing, LA, you're right. You're 100% right. That's why when you go to concerts, you see everybody like this. Because they're filming the experience for another day.
And you know, when you go to Dave Chappelle shows, when you go to Chris Rock shows, you know what you can't do? You can't do that shit. They make you put it in a bag or in a locker because they want you to enjoy the experience. So you can sell that experience.
It's a difference.
I'll counter that, LA. They don't want you not to. They don't want you to enjoy the experience. They just don't want the material getting out on the internet.
Sure, why not? Even that too.
Oh,
You can have two true things at once.
How many of the videos you've ever taken at a show have you ever kept or watched again? Like ever?
So I went to the first concert I ever went to was Kendrick Lamar. When he came to Columbus back in the day, probably like 2015, something like that. I still have that video on my phone. I watch it every so often.
But you don't have a whole concert on your phone, is what I'm saying.
No, it's probably,
you
it's probably like 5-10 minutes.
Exactly. You can watch a whole, bro. Let's say Kanye West is going to Berlin and is having a Twisted Dark Fantasy 10-year release party concert. Like, you're not going to fucking Berlin, but you can watch that shit on Apple Plus or something.
I just don't have a desire to
That's what
watch
I'm
it, I
saying.
guess.
You know they already do that type of stuff.
But what I'm saying though is if they did it more, they had a platform. Like, you want to have this issue with Ticketmaster and resellers, right?
No, you still would, because people are gonna go to the concert.
In LA, the biggest problem with this Ticketmaster thing that I see is the only person it really fucks over is the consumer.
Artist.
How? They already have the ticket sales.
Well, no, because the bots are buying them, and
Yeah,
they're
so
selling them
they're-
at crazy prices.
so
It
she's-
only fucks over the consumer.
But the initial ticket is already bought, right?
He's not
The
talking about
artist-
sales. He's not actually talking about sales. He's talking about when you actually go to the concert and you're like, damn, that whole section is supposed to be sold with people.
yeah.
But it's
Because the ticket's
completely
bought,
empty.
but the consumer, they're not actually being used.
Why the fuck do they care? They're already paid, is what I'm saying. How does it?
It's about performance at the same time, bro.
Yeah, they want to perform for a full stadium, not like that's why they have X amount of tickets. So buy for them too.
Is it about the money or is it about the fans at a certain point. I think that's where we're arguing.
I think most of the artists, it's a mix at least. Like, yeah, you got your money, but
Bro, if I wasn't getting paid, I'm not doing this job. Fuck that. I'm sorry.
If you're getting paid over, but if you're getting paid more than what you should, you're going to be like, damn.
that's what he's saying. The
I feel
money's
like-
not a problem right
I
now.
feel like
so
the
it's-
experience is not there for the people.
Maybe. Shit. I wish I could get paid for not doing half my job. That'd be great.
Doing the full job. That's the thing. You're just not doing it for everybody. Imagine you go into an office and you got a presentation, all right?
Yeah.
And then you go there and you're like, damn, over half the people that I'm supposed to be doing this for isn't even here.
Perfect. Even better for me.
Yeah,
you are the wrong person for the job.
The wrong person to ask.
The wrong person for the job. You have not passed the interview, bud.
Whatever.
You will not be the next 2 Chainz.
What else?
All
right.
This next one is the Norway prisons. Who Ellie, you want to introduce this one?
Okay, so I know not too long ago we did something about prisons, right? And the dude was like profiting off the prison system in Memphis. I think that was with you guys.
I don't remember that.
No?
You and I talked about it like over the phone a long time ago.
I thought maybe that was with you guys. Anyway,
How was he profiting off of it?
How was he profiting off of it?
Yeah.
He was giving deals to friends, like government contracts for commissary and stuff, and then getting paid on the side. I think it was with you guys because Rob even paused and was like, "Look at him sweat."
Sound familiar. Sound very familiar.
Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure Anyway, the U.S. prison system is broken. It's like slave labor. It's terrible. Like bad conditions. But we go across the pond and we go to Norway and we see a maximum security prison. We're just gonna go through some photos. This man here is wearing a jersey. He's got shoes with laces. You don't get that in U.S. prisons. He has a full bed, sheets, pillow, curtains, Fiji water, furniture. You don't get that in prison. You don't have a dorm style living. You have like 4 prisoners in a cell.
There'd be 4 people in that space.
So let's go next.
That's
You get like a living room area.
$1,000 a month apartment.
In Columbus easily.
$1,000. That's more than $1,000.
More than that. Maybe like 1,500. Honestly.
Let's press the next one. Like you get plants. They play volleyball with the guards. Guards don't have. I didn't see a gun on her. Like, what U.S. jail? You know he don't got a gun and like 40 clips backed up.
Ear gas.
They got a mosque for people with different denominations. Let's go ahead and press next. Fresh fruit. In jail. Not gruel. Fruit.
Well, how am I supposed to cut this open? That's my question. That's ginger, man. They got everything. Oh my goodness.
Press next. Arts and crafts. You know, like prison is supposed to be rehabilitation. Like these people have done something generally awful or illegal, and we have to get them ready to come back into population, right? That's what jail is. They look like they got it going pretty good.
Yeah, I got a point on this when we're done.
Yeah, I got something to say on this.
Pottery.
Next one.
Pottery and woodcrafting is very relaxing.
It is. Look at that.
Music.
Channel all that anger and all that bad decisions into something positive, something creative. That way, when you leave this maximum penitentiary, you can be productive and not just angry because you've been here for 15 years. Press next. These motherfuckers playing PlayStation. And the guards just
All right,
kicking it.
send me now. Hey Darren, we gotta do some crazy shit in Norway.
Nah, they'll just send you back here,
all
bro.
these niggas out in
Yeah, they'll just support you back here. You get stuck in our jails. They don't shoot you there. So I was gonna say,
look at
that. Yeah, on Ellie's point of like how it's a rehabilitation center, like the way I view U.S. prisons and stuff is most people go into prison. It is a school for crime.
how to do it better.
Yeah, you go in there and you learn how to not get caught. You go in there and learn 3 more, criminal attributes or whatever else. Like, it compounds because it's not a rehabilitation. It's just confinement with more people that are like-minded and want to find a way to beat that system more. So it's 2 completely different outlooks.
I've seen people go to jail and come back out a year later, 20, 30 pounds lighter. Like, that shit's not good for you, your mental, your physical, your anything. Like, those people look like he gained weight. Like, he looked pretty healthy to me.
Oh, they're eating good. I really do agree with this, but I also think. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro. I'll follow up after you.
I was just gonna end up with saying like it would be a volume thing though. Then people incarcerated here versus there, just paying for all accommodation. And that's where I think we would need to at least clear out like
non-violent offenders.
Yeah, like people for an ounce of weed, shit like that.
Stupid shit.
Yeah, non-violent offenders. Like, let's at least move them out. Go from there. But that's enough for me.
We rebuilt the jail systems, like, made jails modern and not ironclad, barricaded castles. Like, made them hospitable, actually put people inside that are trained. Like, bipolar disorder is a thing. Like, these people are going through post-traumatic stress. Like, imagine leaving your life, going here for 15 years, and then they're like, oh, yep, you can leave now. Like, how much of a shock that would be, how jarring that would be? Like, what am I about to do? How am I going to support myself? I came in with $100 in the 80s, and I'm leaving with that $100. Like, what am I about to do? I don't know what a cell phone is. I don't know how to use Google. Like, what the fuck? Can you imagine?
No.
That shit's crazy. Like, there's no, like, they need to have like a career center.
Let me go ahead. So let me start by saying I had a coworker who was from Norway recently, past year or so, and we've had this pretty much the same conversations, except it was about whooping kids. In Norway, it's actually legal to whoop your kid. So I'm not surprised by this at all, because they're very much more what is the word? Less making sense of things sometimes, I would say, right? Because this makes sense. I don't think anybody disagrees with the rehab center. Essentially, that's what your prison is supposed to be. You're supposed to go there and get rehabilitated to be a citizen again, right?
Member of society.
Yeah. And I agree with Nate's point that you go to our prisons, probably become a better criminal. Speaking of, I've met 2 people probably in the past month that actually got out of jail. And one dude pretty much told me, like, bruh, how easy it would be for him to go back to what pretty much landed him back in jail and be more productive in it. Obviously, I think everybody's rooting for him that he doesn't go back to that lifestyle. But also
aren't there.
But also, well, that's the thing. There are. I've met these people while working, so there are options out there. But
sustainable options, though, with progression, highly doubt.
Yes, there are. Maybe you stay at the same space, but being a productive citizen, sometimes you have to grow yourself out of where you're at, right?
Systemically, Darren, I don't see
I didn't get to that point yet. Let me get to that. So the biggest problem with the U.S. system and why this will never happen is because it's private prisons. They're not owned by the government. They're owned by Jim Bob Jackson. That's essentially what it is. They're private prisons. Now, if I own a private prison and I live in America, what's the most important thing to me? Making money. That's what everything is. Now you get money from the government and you telling these prisoners to work on things that will eventually be sold at Walmart for ridiculously higher than what it was made for, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is 2 different things. That pottery that they're making in Norway is not going to be sold in Walmart.
given away, maybe. Or something. Like you said, that kind of goes back to what LA was saying earlier with this, the basically being slave labor. It's all profit driven. Like you guys are completely right.
Private prisons are the new slave plantation. That's all it is.
It's self, like once again, and that's what I meant by the opportunities. It's self-serving. They're not interested in investing in rehabilitation
Because it's not.
because
It doesn't bring more money. Yeah, it doesn't bring more money.
Need repeat offenders. You need them to come back.
America is big business.
That's so it's so fucked up.
It is.
It's so fucked up.
No, I mean,
You're selling the
America's big
product, right?
business. America's big business. Norway is more of a
Yeah.
human.
We're a ruthless capital society for the most part. And I've had this discussion with LA before a bunch of times. My wife, like, to be a true capitalist, morals can't be part of your purview. Like you don't earn money from a moral standpoint. That's how you limit. That's a limiting factor. So pure capitalism ignores morals.
Yep. And that's well.
I have a question about that. Especially in today's society where everything is so PC, and all these companies have a PR team. Like for instance, during Pride Month, you see how all these companies change their what do you call it? Their images, their cover art to their social media
Logo, emblem.
Yeah, they have the gay pride flag.
Mm-hmm.
So, wouldn't you say in today's society it does help you? You can capitalize off morality.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just another thing that it's almost expected, and then it's just like a, I don't know, stay in your lane kind of deal.
Public opinion. That's public opinion.
Yeah.
You're essentially just trying to win public opinion. It's
And
still
that's just-
immoral.
it's not, most of those people probably don't give two shits one way or another about the movement. But
I
it's,
guarantee,
like he said, it's not necessarily staying on culture, on public opinion.
I guarantee you some of those CEOs are still telling their children not to be that type of way.
So gotta do what gets them the money.
That's America.
Also, I wanted to say off Darren's point of prisoners being slaves. Yeah, I've heard that multiple times. I think technically by law, by our constitution, they are less than human. Am I correct?
They're still slaves. If you literally go to the 13th Amendment, it literally says slavery is abolished unless the person pretty much did a crime and they're serving the state, essentially. So what did a lot of people, if you were rich and able to do, and you read that, you bought a private prison.
So we should probably buy a private prison here soon.
And that's what chain gangs become. Well, honestly, no, Rob is probably not wrong. If you want to do something like this, own a private prison and then make all of these changes.
Oh no, we
do
ain't doing
all
that.
of these
I
things.
told you what I'm doing. I'm serving these niggas at McDonald's every day.
I promise you.
Drop it off.
And I guarantee you, you will have so many prisoners trying to get transferred into your prison. Yep.
How do you make money doing that though?
They all make YouTube videos.
Maybe it's not about making money. Maybe it's exactly what we were saying before.
Right. That's the right answer.
And
You
it's
have to
about
find
the public
someone.
opinion. It's about
Nah.
the public opinion and changing.
Fuck that.
But
We
if you
turn it
change
into a gym and we all go into the league.
We all go into the get the fuck out of here. No, really, it would take somebody with a unself-serving, like almost a philanthropist kind of to get it started. Like it could be a popular move. Like it could happen, but somebody would have to lose money. And it's just like any other change, in my opinion, like any other big change, somebody has to be willing to lose money, and no one ever will.
Rob.
Yeah.
I think I figured it out. You know how we can fix this? We start the first jail NFL league.
Ooh, like the video game?
Yeah, like you're in jail and you play for the league. You make money for the jail, and then everybody does better. Like you can do better psychiatrists. Like, oh, like here comes the Jacksonville Cell Block C team. Like, I go watch a game. Fuck it, I go watch.
Is the
$25 tickets?
I go watch.
Hey, is the Rock going to be?
Let me tell you what. No.
Yeah,
this ain't
the
gonna
Rock's gonna be there.
LA, let me tell you why this ain't gonna work.
Why?
First off, they tried this in a movie called Long and Short.
It was great.
let's say you able to fight your op on the field that's in a totally different prison.
I'm down, bro. It's like gladiators with football. You can't. I'm sold.
The only difference is I'm not giving them health insurance.
Here's the
Health
thing,
insurance
Surprised
that
you're
they
not
include.
pitching like a death race kind of deal right now.
Honestly,
I need to
low
go.
key.
I need to go find who's the commissioner right now at the NFL. I need to go talk to him.
Roger Goodell.
I need to go talk to
honestly,
Mr. Goodell.
All we need to do is get television.
How old
rights.
is Roger Goodell?
Darren, if we get television rights and get this shit on TV,
Bro, it's over. Jails are gonna be perfect.
I guarantee you'll do better than the XFL. I
Better.
guarantee you'll do better than the Spring Football League.
Better.
Your focus group.
And then you can have the female jails too.
Y'all might have came
think
up
about
with y'all might have came up with $1 billion idea in front of everybody.
That's fine.
Somebody's already on it.
All we need is a television deal.
That's
If we probably won't get Fox or CBS or something, but we might be good on Spike TV.
I'm down. Well, what's
TV's
Joe
still
Rogan on? We can get on Joe Rogan's TV show.
Who in the hell is gonna go into all these prisons and recruit these players and give them equipment and stuff?
We don't have to. They got
Darren,
cell
that's all
phones
you
in
gotta
jail
do.
now. They'll come to
I want
us.
Nick Saban this bitch. I'm gonna walk in there and be like, "Hey, you a big dude."
LA, if you
You
feel
ever play
comfortable,
football?
plug your email at the end of this. See how many you get.
I don't feel bold.
So essentially, the first step of this is asking grown men in prison, "Hey, would you be willing to play football?
Basketball, lacrosse, whatever sport is your privy.
Willing to play that on
boxing.
TV so your family can get money?"
Your family get money, yeah.
That's probably the best thing out of it. Either you get money for when you get out of prison, or your family gets money so you're not getting
Like
out.
those life
At least-
sentencers?
Yeah,
Like, they
at
got
least
nothing
you
to
provide
lose.
it. Yeah, at least you provide.
Commissary, they can supply themselves. I think there's nothing but benefits.
All right.
Yeah, I agree with y'all.
I forgot about this video.
I got time for one more, and I'm getting hungry.
All right, bet. So we're going to finish up today with a teacher calling his student a nigga. But wait, before you judge, he explains himself.
Dear God.
It's only
I
Boondocks.
have not seen this. This is ridiculous.
It's only Boondocks.
It is a word that evokes many emotions in people. It's a derogatory racial remark that has divided people for many years.
And a Jefferson County high school teacher has now received the longest suspension on record for calling a student the N-word. WHAS 11's defender Renee Murphy investigates what happened and why in this story you'll only see on 11.
Valley Traditional High School is in the middle of a racial controversy
just
right
looks
now.
like
A
somebody
teacher
would say it.
used the N-word towards a student. The word is only 6 letters long, but the impact is far-reaching. And we do
Oh.
want to warn you that some of the language in this story
Damn,
is
she had
strong,
that in
and
the
it may offend
pocket.
you, it may offend some other people.
Yeah.
But since the story is not
Why'd
just
they make the black lady report on it?
This is legitimately.
Wait, no,
coming
wait,
from
she said 6 letters, bro. So he said the hard R.
Yo.
No, he did the hard R. That's why they put that on the YouTube title. They had to censor that.
Go ahead, man. Yeah, I think
He used the hard R.
the N-word. It's also about the teacher's intent and definition of the word. We
Dear
have
God.
decided to leave it in the story for you to decide.
This is Boondocks.
What did he
100%.
say specifically?
Now, does this brother look like a nigga to you?
I'm not doing this.
LA?
Can you play this video?
Sit down, nigga.
Keyshawn, what did he say specifically to you?
Sit down, nigga.
Keyshawn Chambers is a freshman at Valley High School, a Boy Scout, a football player, a member of the ROTC, an honor roll student. He was hanging around his teacher's classroom door in December. The teacher told him to sit down, and the teacher says that Keyshawn used the N-word first.
And I just kind of was stunned a second. Well, then get away from the door, nigga.
This is straight from the Boondocks, bro. I'm happy they made it. They made an episode on this, and you found the original clip from it. I love it. I love it.
So this is not real?
No, this is real.
No, this is real. They
They
made
made
an
a show.
episode on it. They made an episode on it. This
Oh,
is
Boondocks cartoon.
He says the cartoon says it just like that. He says, "So sit down, nigga." Bro.
Yo, play this. I didn't know this shit was
I
real.
repeated the same insult because That's sort of what I've been trained to do.
The school district says
They
that
trained
is
you to
not
say
what they
that?
trained English teacher Paul Dawson to do.
He tried to say I said it, and I didn't say it, and no one else in the class knows that I said it because I didn't.
Documents from the school investigation show that several of the students interviewed from Valley did not hear Keyshawn say the N-word first. Dawson says that students use the slang version.
No.
Why, bro? Why?
No.
How do they do
Oh.
it?
He had to bring those from home. They don't have those in school.
Dawson says that students use the
What
slang
the
version of the N-word at
shovel
Valley
away,
High
bro?
School all
You
the
are
time.
6 feet
He
under.
says Nigger is a
They're two completely different words.
Nah. Which I agree with him, unless a white person says it.
Those are both equally no.
Play it.
racial slur, but says that students use Nigga as often as they'd say dude or hey man. And Dawson says as much as he does not like the word, he still used the slang version to feel more comfortable with black students.
Why is this word used so frequently? So I just don't understand it. And I'm trying to understand it. I need help. Yes, I use nigga. I've used it. I admit it. I put the H on it to emphasize it's nigga.
You going? Yo, please pull up the Boondocks
I
episode
put
with
the H
this.
on it to emphasize it's nigga. Nigga. You know, nigga this, nigga please, nigga. Is nigga a pencil?
What kind of example are you setting for your students if you use a word that you don't want them to use?
Upon reflection, that's not good.
Dawson was suspended for 10 days without pay from January 9th to January 23rd, and he has to go to diversity training. He says that he's learned from this experience and hopes that others think twice before using the
Yo, if this was my English teacher.
Any form of nigga. I'm cured of that.
Paul Dawson says that he is sorry for the way things were handled, but Keyshawn says that he is not looking for any apologies.
Apologizing is going to change the fact that it happened and he's not been punished.
And punishment in your mind is?
Not having his job anymore.
Paul Dawson says that he wants there to be a steadfast policy in Jefferson County Public Schools against people using the N-word. Right now, when it is brought up, it's dealt with on a case-by-case basis with the district. And we should mention that Keyshawn is still in Paul Dawson's classroom. Dawson has been with the district for 20 years, and Keyshawn is still in that classroom because Dawson is an honors English teacher. There are very few honors English classes, so he is still with him.
Well, now he was suspended for a while, but is he back teaching?
He is back teaching now, and he still does have his job. But
Look, I want you to go to the you got to show the Boondocks episode because they very much, this is like spot the fuck on.
Hold on, there, I'm fucking up.
This is wild, though. He went to the longest lengths I've ever seen someone try and justify that.
I mean, he is an English teacher, right?
If anybody can justify it, I guess.
The way he did the emphasis at the end of that, oh my
It's the
god.
first one. Yep, that first 4 minutes right there. Yep. They were on it, bro. This is incredible.
Shows wild.
It's
You
a
would think it was
derogatory
real life.
racial remark that has divided people for many years.
And a J. Edgar Hoover elementary teacher has now been suspended over calling a student the N-word. Stacey Renee investigates what happened and why.
And what did he say specifically to you?
He said, "Sit down, nigga."
Riley Freeman is a third-grade student at J. Edgar Hoover Elementary School. He's a basketball player, an avid reader, and one day
Don't
hopes to
even wear
spread his
glasses.
philosophy through rap music. He
An
was in
avid
class when he had a
reader.
verbal exchange with his teacher, Joe Petto. But Mr. Petto said it was Riley who used the N-word first.
So I told him
Yeah,
to take his seat, and here
it's
comes this
word for word.
barrage of insults. I mean, some of the words I've never even heard before, and I was just stunned. And I said, "Well, sit down, nigga." I just repeated the insult back to him because that's what I've been trained to do.
That is not what he's been trained to do.
School Superintendent Donald Richards says all teachers are taught to use appropriate hyphenated euphemisms instead of racial slurs.
We have a very strict policy against teachers using the N-word or any other racially insensitive words. The district's policy is that teachers should always say N-word instead of the actual N-word, or S-word instead of saying the actual S-word.
What is the S word?
Well, I don't want to say it, but...
Spick?
No. Spear chucker.
Spear chucker?
Yes. See, we would encourage our teachers to say S-word instead of spear chucker.
And how often do you have a problem with faculty saying spear chucker to students?
We don't. That's what I'm saying. They would say S-word.
But Riley Freeman denies he used the N-word first.
He said I used the word before, but I didn't. I wouldn't use that word ever. That word hurts people.
Mr. Pedo claims the version of nigger is the racial slur, but that he was using a different version of the word ending in ga that means the same as buddy or best pal. He insists that he was using the friendly version of the N-word to better relate to Riley.
I used the word. I admit it. I thought there was a difference between nigger and nigga. I thought I understood this whole thing, but I guess I don't. I need help. Whenever I hear the rappers, they say, nigga. It's in all the music. Look. Rap songs that use the word nigga in a positive way. There's tons of it. Look, real nigga roll call. Niggas bleed. Jigga my nigga. Niggas for life. Real niggas don't die. Shame on a nigga. Suck a nigga. Ain't no nigga.
The school is investigating the incident, but in the meantime, Mr. Peto has been put on unpaid leave.
I just couldn't believe it because nobody ever called me a nigga before.
And how did it make you feel?
Like I was less than a person.
So we can all admit that Riley did use the N-word.
That's the most used word he had.
Yeah, bro, that's the whole script for him.
You want to keep
That's
watching,
hilarious. Oh, I just had to bring that up because I thought that was from
So when did this happen?
the original one. That's a good question.
Over 10 years ago.
I was gonna say that looked like it was straight out of the early 2000s, late 90s.
16 years ago.
That's still wild though.
16 years ago is when YouTube came out, maybe.
No, YouTube's been out longer than that.
I thought YouTube's been out since 09, 08. Maybe 07 was the first video posted.
YouTube came out in 2005.
There you go. Yeah. Just shy of 20 years.
Do we agree with him, the teacher, that they are two different words?
I mean,
Same word, different intentions.
different intentions, and it's also different for white people versus black people. I feel like obviously if I would use either one of those, one is going to be a 10 and one's going to be an 8, but both of them are just a no-go. But for you, for black people, it is more of a habitual term, and then the hard R is basically never used, or it's specifically derogatory. But I don't know.
Okay, watched on this podcast as well. It's a video where they try to take the word back for the first time. I think Rob put it in there a while ago. Where dude's like, no. He said, "What's up, nigga?" He said, "What did you just call me?" And he goes over to him. He's like, "Nah, look, you just need to say it. Say it." And he says it. He's like, "Right, I do feel more powerful." I gotta find that episode wherever we talked about it.
Oh,
but yeah,
no.
that was definitely in this podcast.
All right. Well, I would like to thank all y'all niggas out there listening.
No.
I'd like to thank y'all for listening to another episode of the Purple Pill Podcast. This was episode 101 of the Purple Pill Podcast. We would also like to thank Nate for coming on. We really appreciate it. We had a good time with you.
Appreciate it having me on. It's always fun.
Definitely. So, thank y'all again for listening. We'll see y'all next week. Peace out, niggas.